so back. Why did I open up the video like that? I don't know. But hey, y'all, get in here, get in here, get in here. Welcome back to Daily Dose with Des. And, you know, I didn't lie. College football is so back. I mean, the past week of college football, I feel like I've just been in the heavens. I think I lied. Last time when it was like NFL mixed with college, that first weekend I was in heaven, but like I was in super heaven this time. Like I was watching college football on a Sunday and on a Monday. Like what? Yeah, I like that. I do. I think that was really cool. So we're gonna get started. I'm super early today, and I think I'm gonna try to be early. I don't know if I like being early or if I like being late. I don't know which one I like better. And I'm so up and down. Like I want to be consistent. So my consistency is literally just doing the show when I'm supposed to do it. So this is Tuesday Huddle. I've been doing pretty good with my Tuesdays. So y'all know to find me here on Tuesday. Okay. But we're going to dive into a lot of great topics. We have tennis, college football. Do we have NFL today? Oh, is this the first time I'm not talking about NFL? We might. I'm always gonna throw some NFL up in there. We got NBA players and things going on with their baby mamas, and it's just a lot. We got a lot going on, right? We got a lot going on, and I mean, that's just what we do over here, right? So yeah, I'm going to really dive in and really talk about me for a second. Okay, so like I said, college football is so back, and I'm so excited to be back. I'm so blessed, honestly. The amount of like excitement I feel and the amount of like just gratefulness that I feel is just on a whole like another level. So I got to cover Clemson and LSU. And as I was saying in my Get Ready With Me video that I did on Saturday, when I still was I'm still under the weather a little bit. Like I probably still sound very nasally and congested because I am. But I wasn't contagious. It's the only reason why I went out to the game. Because if I was contagious, I would have stayed at home. I don't play that because I don't want anybody getting me sick. But anyway, I got to cover the game, and it was such a huge game. Like I remember the first time when Florida State came to Clemson and I was covering, and they were like, hey, well, you may not be able to sit in the open air, but you can be in the auxiliary. And I was like, I don't care where I am. I'm just happy to be here, right? And it was the same thing being at LSU. However, I was able to get a seat, I think maybe a day or a day of, because some people didn't come to the FSU game. And I was like, I gotta see. I was all the way at the bottom. I was just happy to be there. This time, though, almost everybody did show up. You had scouts there, all the national TV. You had the SEC TV there, ACC network, all the like the local and regional news. Heck, I think all of the state news was there. Everybody was there, and it was like a first stop for them because they were then going to the Aflac kickoff, or they were coming from Aflac kickoff, coming to do Clemson, and then going back to Aflac kickoff. So it was a lot of moving parts, a lot of different places, and I was there. I was in the rooms with these people that we see on TV. I was in there. So I was just extremely blessed. It also was like a good humbling experience too, just to see like, okay, you get to see people who've, made it through the ranks and the ropes as well. I got to network with some great people, and I'm crossing my fingers that an opportunity comes from one of those things. I'm not going to tell you what it is exactly yet because I want to make sure I get the opportunity before I just go ahead and blab about it. But it was so great to be there. So great to be just back for the football season, and I'm hoping to continue to be back every other game for the rest of the season. I'm also hoping to do some Wake Forest games. So like my media contact brother is supposed to get me in with one of the Wake Forest or a few of the Wake Forest games. So, I'm just back in full stride. I think before, during the summer, I always take like a break because I have to make sure that I am mentally prepared for whatever I'm doing for football season. Once football season starts, I kick it off with HBCU, and then it just keeps going and going and going and going. And almost every week, outside of my 2 weeks of my birthday month in October that I take away, I'm just like consistently on the go. So this is technically my second, or I gotta point this way. This is technically my second game that I covered for the season, but it's my first really, really big one and my first really national one. And I just wanted to share my excitement with you all because that's super duper important. And whatever you're excited about, keep being excited about it. Because remember, I told you great things are coming. Great things are coming. And it was so cool setting up my camera. And I'm literally on the what is it called? The sideline with all the other news journalists. Again, they're from local news, regional news, national news, and they're all down there, and I'm down there too. Me down there, and just so excited to be there. So I just wanted to share that with you all because maybe somebody needs some like motivation or something. I don't know, but we're going to hop into the topics as I told you guys. Super duper excited. Um, I'm gonna stop saying but if you can just see, like the happiness in my face and in my cheeks, like I'm still just on cloud 100, and this happened days ago. But I like to share good things with y'all because it's important. It's important to share the wins with my people, you know, with the playmakers. That's what I'm gonna start calling you guys, the playmakers. I'm sorry, you know. But anyway, we're gonna hop in after. You know what I gotta do after my jiggy intro. So stay right where you're at. Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got your feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily dose with this. Got you coming back for more. All right. We are going to start off by talking about an Army cadet who saved a man's life after he lost his football game. No, okay, but you know, this is what heroes do. This is what cadets do. This is just who they are. And I also just have to say the Army, you would think this picture is from like 1970. They do a good job of keeping the culture, keeping tradition thing. Like if you don't understand, even military people don't even understand, which I don't get it. Like how are you a part of something that you just don't understand? You don't even take your time to understand or to get the customaries and the traditions, but whatever. But Army and Navy are super duper big on tradition, and this gives me like traditional way back when photo. So this is actually his photo. So yeah, he plays football with Army. And after the game, he was riding with his family. And as he was riding down, they saw an accident. Like a car crashed into a light pole, and it was sparks and fire and all of that. And he immediately jumped into action and went in to save the guy's life who was in the car. The guy, has no critical injuries, but he was taken to the hospital and everything. But just imagine if they weren't driving by at that time. Like this man is a gift. He's an angel. He was a gift from God sent to that man to help him when he pulled him out of that car. And I seen the video, and I didn't forget. I just felt like I didn't want to put that on here, but you can look up the video where him and his father were helping the man out of the car. And I wanted to read the little article. It's not long, but it says that Army safety Larry Pickett Jr. rescued a man from a burning vehicle early Sunday morning in Fort Montgomery, New York, about 5 miles south of Army's West Point campus. Pickett, a second-year cadet, a second-year cadet at the Service Academy, was traveling with his family when they saw a crashed vehicle surrounded by downed power lines on Route 9 West in Fort Montgomery. So basically, they're just saying, like I said, he hit the pole, it went into flames, and he just hopped out. And his father, Pickett Sr., was like, there was no discussion. We didn't know the instant of the man's conditions. He just literally hopped out and just went into action. And then it goes to tell like what he did at the game. So he made his football debut on Friday night, recording a tackle in the 30-27 overtime loss. Okay, but heroic thing for him to do, to just being selfless. And this is what cadets do. This is what Army people do, military people, service members do. They don't think, they just act, they just do. Regardless if you're retired, if you're still you're going to school to try to get to that place. So I just wanted to start off on another positive highlight and note, because this guy is saving lives and he made his football debut. So congratulations, Larry. You are now one of one, can now be outdone over here at PG of Sports. Okay. All right. Moving on to what I think is criminal. Criminal, by the way, is the AP poll coming out today. And this is, I wanted to wait until the poll came out. So Tuesdays, we're always going to do the show after the poll is released. I'm never going to do it before. It's too early for me to do it before anyway. Like, I'm on here at 6:50 right now. I'm normally on at 9. So, yeah, but this is criminal. This is kind of criminal. We're going to blow this up just a little bit more since I'm on the side. Yeah, kind of criminal. I'm going to move out. Let's move myself over here. Okay, this is the poll. The only one that I think is absolutely right on this list is number 1, Ohio State being up there. And yes, I'm saying that, and I go hard for the SEC. But I do think that Ohio State should have been up there from the very beginning, as they were the defending national champions. I don't know how they were anywhere else but number 1. I don't even know how Texas got up there. I don't even know how Texas got before Georgia, Notre Dame. Like, I don't really know how that happened. And again, I'm always for the SEC. You guys know this. I don't know how that happened though. So, the hype with Arch Manning kind of came from somewhere. But if you think about it, he's in a second year getting his official debut. Like, he came in and was helping out last season, but those are little small games without expectations. And now he's coming in without, like, college don't have a preseason and things like that. They don't get to like knock off the rest. Their first go round is when they go, right? So I didn't expect him to come in and be lights out the very first game. A lot of people did. Unfortunately for them, it went completely opposite. Matt Patricia and that defensive scheme over there had a master class. Okay, they gave Kirby Smart all that they needed to see. Dogs on top. Okay, that's all I got, right? So I don't know how they were not number 1 from the beginning. But okay, I'm not a part of the committee, so I don't really know what happened, what they're thinking on none of that. But this is where we are for here. I told you the last year that Boise State had got monkey dunk stomped, and the pony train was leaving the building, and I was right. There's another pony train up there, but that's SMU, the Mustangs. All right, but I said Boise State should not have been up there to begin with. And they proved that they weren't supposed to be up there. Now, where is really, really criminal to me, kind of criminal to me, is the fact that Texas and Clemson, who lost, are still up so high. Notre Dame lost too. South Carolina won. So, I mean, I guess because the Hokies weren't ranked, I guess, so that just didn't matter. Happy to see FSU up there. Florida right now was dominating. The Gators, the Noles. Who else is up there? That's it, right? From Florida. Yeah. So they're doing a thing. They're doing a thing. Oregon, of course. I mean, they've been in the top 10 a couple seasons, whatever. Yeah, I'm just I think some of this is very criminal. Why is Tennessee number 22? Behind Alabama. Tennessee won. What are we doing? How is Alabama? Okay, I don't think that Alabama should be out of the top 25, but I don't think they should be number 21. Maybe 25. They should be number 25. I'm not understanding this right here. This is criminal. This is a criminal offense. This is a felony. This list this week. So we need next week to be something else. For sure. Some people are upset that LSU is before Georgia. That they say that's laughable. I mean, you can make an argument for both, right? Because they did beat Clemson was number 4. So at that time they did beat Clemson. So Rightfully so, they would be up there. Um, yeah, yeah. And of course, like you can't move Georgia too far, even though they didn't play anybody. They played a cupcake game, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, criminal. This is criminal. But there are 10 SEC schools up there, so nearly half. Okay. So yeah, there's that. Penn State. I don't feel like Penn State should be number two though. I don't know. What we think, chat? Let me know. Let me know, cause I'm feeling really perturbed. The more and more I look at this, I'm like, this puzzle is it's a thing. It's a thing. You know. Ooh, I don't know. I feel like yeah. I feel like Penn State. I still think Texas and Clemson are a little too high, but that's just my opinion there. I do think that South Carolina should have been at 7 because they won in Syracuse. Not Syracuse. They didn't play Syracuse. Tennessee played Syracuse, but that's why I think they should be up a little higher. They played the Hokies, but I don't know. I just feel like South Carolina should be ahead of Texas. Ooh, that's hard. I don't know. What y'all think? Let me know. Let me go to my thing. We just if I sit and stare at it, I really do we like this? Do we like the top? I don't like this list. I already said this 3 times, but do you like this list? Is Michigan placed right? The only one I agree with again is Ohio State being up there. That's the one I agree with. Ole Miss is Ole Miss in the right spot. Texas, A&M. The SEC is killing it. They're killing it. Killing it. I need to get an SEC shirt. Y'all know I'm a SEC girly for real. I don't know. I feel like well, welcome Utah. Hello, congratulations. Yeah, I do feel like Alabama should be 25. I don't know. I feel like this. I guess you also look at strength of schedule. Um, you're looking at strength of roster. You're looking at the wins and losses from that week, and then I think you just look at like who do you like and who you don't like. I think at some point they sit there and like, well, I just don't like this school, so I'm moving down. I don't know. It's something that always be talked about, and like I said, every week we'll be doing Tuesday's show about the AP poll. It's going to come out. We're going to do it. That's just what it's going to be. Okay? Boom. Moving on. Though, I seen some tweets that was like, where is Colorado on the list? Colorado lost to Georgia Tech. If Georgia Tech's not on the list, what makes you think that Colorado would be on the list? Come on, people. I know y'all know better than that. I know y'all know better than that. But keeping with college football, Big Billy had his debut last night, against TCU. And that first drive I think the first drive had us all on the edges of our seat and like, yes, okay, this is what we want to see. Even I tweeted out some things. I'm like, oh yeah, UNC is becoming a football school. Oh, they packed that thing out. It looked beautiful in there. Beautiful, beautiful picture. The colors of UNC is already beautiful. So I love the colors of UNC. So I was like, this is good. This is good. Just like I love Duke's colors too, but the blue looks great. So everybody's excited. Yes, the first drive was great. Like they moved, they marched down the field like effortlessly, and the quarterback looked like he had a lot of promise. It was a fluke. It was a fluke. They played in our face. No, but for real. After I think they just took TCU by surprise because they were just like, oh, okay, whoa. What's getting started? And then after that, it was like, it was downhill from there. It was like they were on a slip and slide. They just slid into the blowout. I mean, Big Billy. I don't know, y'all. I had to turn it off. I had to turn off. After halftime, I watched until after halftime. Midway through the third quarter, I said, nah, this ain't going the way that it was expected to go. And it was star-studded. Michael Jordan, you had Randy Moss, you had Roy Lawrence, you had so many people that was there. So many different people that was there. And it didn't go in the way that it was supposed to go. And that's okay. That's okay. I can't say that they absolutely suck. I do think that the quarterback was the one that was in had to get benched. I think he was doing well, and then I don't know if he just got flustered, if he just started to uh, crush under pressure. I really don't know what was going on at that point because he looked so promising from the very beginning, and it was like, okay, all right, this kid's good, and then suddenly it was interception, three and out. It was bad. It was bad. And I really don't even want to say that TCU played all out just dominating football. I just think they fell really, really short. But 70 new players on the roster, you really don't know what you have until you have to go out there and show it. Like you gotta put your money where your mouth is. The proof is in the pudding. And I think some of those kids, men, are not gonna be. I think they're still gonna be on the roster, but I think they got a wake up call. I think they really figured out like this is not high school football anymore. If you got into the transfer portal, this is not your old university. Like now it means more. Like it means more. Like they say in the SEC, like football just means more, right? And I think that maybe now they'll get it. Hopefully. They're going to play Charlotte. Charlotte is not that great of a team, so they should win. They should win. Because I seen Charlotte play Appalachian State, and Appalachian State at some point just took over and dog walked them. So I do think that they have an opportunity to kind of get a win underneath their belt, to kind of get what it feels like to win, to hopefully work out some of those kinks against a team that's not as good. And I think they can win. I think they can win. I have to see another game or two before I just say that they're absolutely poop garbage. But to lose 48-14 is a little crazy. The defense tried their very, very best, but again, you got to have complementary offense. I say this every time. Every time it's always lopsided. You have to have complementary offense because your defense can only do but so much if they don't have an offense that can stay on the field. Three and out is not gonna. You're gonna lose. You're definitely gonna lose that way. But to look at it in retrospect from another lens point, right? Almost all of the not first time, because Bill Belichick's not a first time head coach. Let me rephrase that. Almost all of the new head coaches for college football lost. The ones that I keep up with, the most notable ones, right? Michael Vick and Norfolk State lost 27-7 to Towson. Miles College, they have Chris Good over there as their new head coach. They got dog walked. They lost 45-3 to Virginia Union. Delaware State, that is coached by Deshaun Jackson. I'm going to say D-Jack, whatever, but Deshaun Jackson, they got BTA 35-17. And then UNC loses, coached by Bill Belichick, and they lose 48-14. Okay? At least they put up a touchdown. Okay? Miles College has some real work to do. They were the SEAC champions, and now they look like they about to be at the bottom of the barrel. So they gotta work it out. They are the real losers here in all of this because they only scored 3 points. Everybody else at least got a touchdown. Delaware State at least got 17 points. So there's a lot of promise there. You're telling me you can at least score, you can move the ball down the field. UNC, the backup quarterback came in, boom, points on the board. So he can move the ball down the field. So that's some promise there, right? But they all took an L. So, Big Billy, I think you'll be all right. You know? I think you'll be all right. Yeah, that's all I got for it. That's all I got. Yeah. hmm The only, no, not the only. Moving on to this topic here. I'm figuring out how to do my things. Everything is mirrored. So I think I'm going to be over here because it's over here, but it's over here. Yeah. Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Shannon Sharpe, but I did see this all over the not Tiki to the Talk, Twitter. I seen this on Twitter. Ray Lewis did a podcast and was talking about, his friendships and his relationships and the relationship that he had or had. I said had or had. Come on, Des. Get it together. Let's start over. This is great that I clipped the show because you probably watching and you're like, what are we talking about right now? But I'm not perfect. And I've kind of gotten out that needing to be perfect with everything. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. So whatever. Boom. We're going to start over. Da-da-da-da. Action. Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe are fighting. They're not fighting, but they're at odds right now. And I don't even want to say odds. I just think that they're just like, relationship is kind of severed at this point. Ray Lewis did a podcast and he was talking about, relationships and friendships, and the one that he had with Shannon Sharpe came up and he was like, they're no longer friends at this point. They're no longer, seeing eye to eye. And a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter because they were like, it's two sides there. One side was like, Ray Lewis is correct because he said that he seen the way that Shannon Sharpe was going with his amount of fame and money, and that's not the person that he knew. That's not the person that he also wanted to engage with. The way that he was going down, he didn't want to go down that route. He also said that he never seen Shannon smoke or drink or carry on the way he's carrying on. And he just didn't agree with that. So that relationship kind of is severed there. And from what I understand is they were kind of like brothers. They were more than friends. They played together for 2 years on the Baltimore Ravens, and they just built a brotherhood from there. So I understood where some people were saying, did Ray Lewis actually tell Shannon Sharpe how he felt? Did it come up before he got on the podcast and was talking about it? I can respect that, right? Because if that's supposed to be your brother, you should be able to communicate and talk with your brother about whatever. Granted, will he listen? We don't know. Shannon Sharpe does seem a little hard-headed. Just saying, right? So I got that. Did you talk to him first? Other people are like, oh, Ray Lewis needs to sit it out. He don't need to be talking. He's not perfect. Da, da, da. And when I rewatched the clip of what he was saying, I don't think he said anything wrong. I think that he was asked about it and he answered. I don't think he said anything wrong. And we gotta be honest, Shannon Sharpe has been acting a little crazy around here in these paws. He is, I've never seen him smoke. Did he smoke? Maybe cigars or whatever. And he did drink because, he has the Le Portier that he has, the cognac. So he drinks on the show Club Shay Shay. I don't watch the Club Shay Shay. I think the only one I've ever actually watched was the Monique one and the Cat Williams one. I've never watched one after that. I love Chris Brown. I know that he was on there, but I didn't watch it. It's just not my cup of tea. I do watch Nightcap because I like Ocho Cinco. I wouldn't watch it if it was just Shannon. I just wouldn't, right? But that's me. So I don't know if what he actually does on that show, but I have seen him drink when Cat Williams, they took a little sippy sip. And some people are like, well, he's no longer playing, he's no longer an athlete, so of course maybe he want to drink and smoke now because that's what he want to do. But I took it as Shannon Sharpe has been acting a little non his age, with the YT girl and the scandals that been going on, the accidental live with the actual stuff going on. And I can see how people are like, we're going to just hold off on that because you're tripping, my guy. When you're ready to come back to reality and act your age and not your shoe size, then we can actually go back to having a relationship or our brotherhood. But we also don't know what is going on behind closed doors. Shannon Sharpe got on Nightcap and was like, he's not going to talk about it. He's just going to let people do. He said he felt like he's low hanging fruit and people were just picking at him and people are going to say things. But that's also kind of like a victim mentality because, bro, you know that you was tripping. You know that you was out here wilding and you were doing a little much. Okay, so you know that you was, and I feel like that's another reason why he didn't want to speak on it, because then he would have to admit that he was acting a little bit out of character for what people who know him as or know him to be, right? So I think both sides are valid. Two things can be true at once. I think both sides are valid. I do hope that they talk about it behind the scenes and kind of get it together. And you know, you never want to lose a brother. And I think that Shannon was hurt by it a little bit based off of like the way that he talked about it on Nightcap. You can go watch the clip or whatever. It's kind of in like the beginning of it. But I think you can see that he was a little hurt by it, which kind of tells me that maybe Ray Lewis did not have that conversation with him before he went on the podcast. But to be fair, sometimes you know what they're going to ask you on the podcast, and sometimes the conversation just gets to that point. Because I ask people some things that I don't always plan to ask them, and then they just give me an answer and they're being honest. So again, I think two things can be true at once. We do know that Shannon Sharpe has been tripping and wilding out, and he needs to get back to his actual self, you know? So I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, and if like it was valid or non-valid, or I like how y'all feel about that. I would love to know. Would love to know your opinions on this. I just feel like he spoke his truth and Shannon didn't speak his truth, but maybe he'll speak his truth behind closed doors. I think both things can be very true at once. So that's just my take on it. And I just want to talk about it. Moving on. Boom. Now, our girl, before I get to the mess, my last topic is messy. Y'all know I'll be with the mess sometimes. I got to get y'all the mess. So, Naomi is so back. She's moving on to the quarterfinals in the U.S. Open. I did not realize how long the U.S. Open really was. I didn't realize how long all the Opens were, but this one is really, really long. She's moving into the quarterfinals. And it is said that she does not lose once she gets to the quarters. Once she gets to the quarters, she turns it up a double notch. Okay? So, I'm rooting for my girl. Like I said, I dragged her when she was not being a girl's girl, when she was not showing good sportsmanship. I watched her documentary. I loved it. I have newfound respect for her. I have a new understanding of her and really understanding where she is as a tennis player. All she knew was tennis. Her personality was tennis. And then she had a baby. And now her personality is tennis and baby. That's all it is. She's a little awkward. I love her little Labobo, Labubu dolls, whatever they called. I thought that was really cute. It made me want to get a bedazzled one because she got them. All of them match her little outfits. I think it's super cool. Her latest one was Althea Gibson, because it's not Gibson, it's Gibson something. Gibson something like that. But it's paying homage to Althea Gibson. So I thought it was super duper cute. She did play our girl Coco. I got Coco up here, so bam. See what I'm doing this? So I'm getting more efficient, y'all. She did play Coco Gauff, and she beat her. And she beat her before when Coco was, 15 in the U.S. Open. And then Naomi just, kind of took her underneath her wing and said, come and do the interview with me. Come and, do it. And Naomi spoke about it, about how she really sees Coco as being like a little sister. And she also looks up to her for all the things that Coco has done in her career so quickly. Way back in 2 years ago when Naomi had just had a baby, she went and watched Coco at the U.S. Open. So there has been nothing but support and camaraderie between the two. I really hated to see them play each other. Maybe in the quarterfinals, but it's okay. Our girl Coco is out. And Coco was saying she put so much pressure on herself to be this super duper great person, and she has all these super high expectations that sometimes they don't feel realistic for her to be her age and for her to get to where she's gotten so far. So she is really trying to, I think another thing too, she's kind of like Naomi of trying to find that identity outside of tennis. They have been so engulfed in tennis all of their life that they don't have a personality per se that is other than tennis. It's always about tennis. So I think, her taking this loss and now she's being out of the US Open, she's trying to find and really get her feet on the ground of who she is as now a legal adult. She's 21. She's trying to figure out who she is. I don't see her being that party girl, but maybe she'll find some other piece. Like Naomi found motherhood, right? Coco may not want that. Not right now. Right. So I think she just has to find something that can also speak to her personality and who she is. But again, I loved seeing them on the court. This was so good of a match. It was so, so good. You go watch the highlights of it. I know some tennis is kind of boring to certain people, but when you have two great, like, top tier talents on the court battling it out who have a strong bond and respect for each other, I think that's just, it makes for the ultimate game. But yeah, Naomi is going on. And I can't wait to see what she does in the quarterfinals. And I hope that she wins. We have to root for somebody. Naomi is like the only non-American American because obviously she plays for Japan, underneath of Japan. And I can understand and respect that. Her mother, her grandparents, she wants to stick to her Japanese, heritage, culture, roots, and all of that. But she's also American. They moved to America and then they moved to New York. And that's when she started to play and she used to go to the US Open. So the court means something special to her because of what she grew up doing and how she grew up training. So I can understand wanting to represent both sides and you feel like there's a tug. Like she felt as though that the Americans wouldn't root for her because she technically represents Japan. But I was rooting for both of them. I would love if they can't both win, but whoever would have won, I would have been happy with it, right? So I think that she has her following and she has her fans. I just think that she needs to start playing more into that and stop worrying about what other people who are not fans of her are thinking. And that's just my opinion on that. But again, I can't wait to see her in the quarterfinals. Boom. This is going to be a very short show, guys. I'm already on my last topic and we're going to get the heck up out of here. Okay? Yeah, because I'll be on here for hours. My last topic is the messiest topic of them all. Okay. Y'all know PJ? Y'all know PJ. PJ Washington. Y'all know Brittany. Okay, by now you've seen the video going around where he goes to pick up his son and she's with her mother and they're at her mother's house. I don't know if she lives with her mother. Maybe she does. I know at one point, like 2-3 months ago, she was with Kevin Gates and she was a woman of Islam. And now she's not. She's back outside. I'm back outside. Huh? You know that song? I'm gonna stop playing. At some point, I'm gonna stop playing. So now she's back outside. She said that she still is Muslim. She still believes in it or whatever the case may be. She's from Mississippi though, so she has deep roots in Christianity as well. I don't know where she is with that, but where she is with her baby daddy is drama. It's drama. So, like I said, he goes to pick up his son, PJ, the third, and he has his wife in the car. They do not say if their other son, Preston, is in the car with them. I don't know all that information, but he goes to pick him up. He opens the door. She's carrying him out and handing him over, and then the baby starts to cry. Now, there's been a big argument. Oh, babies cry all the time when they go with their parents or go with anybody that's outside of the primary parent or the one that they're with. And then they say, oh, something got to be wrong. He don't want to go. He don't want to go. Blah, blah, blah. Two things could be true at once. Maybe he doesn't want to go because he likes being at mom's and grandma's house. That's not a crime. That's not also saying that PJ is a bad dad. We don't really know. So I hate that. We're speaking on things that we actually don't know. We don't know. There's never been any evidence or speculation or her saying that PJ has done something wrong to the child or whatever. She's just saying, you don't be around. You don't come around enough. Right? And I think that most bitter BMs kind of do that. At least he's showing up to get the kid, right? So he shows up, tries to get the baby. He's asking for his bag. She's holding the bag in her hand and she's like, no. She's at his throat now. Now she's starting the drama and while the baby is crying. Instead of consoling the baby to say, hey, it's okay. It'll be all right. I'll see you on Monday or whatever when I see you again. she continues, follows him out to the car, and of course the mother is recording, which is toxic in itself. It was a play from the beginning. The fact that she was already recording when Brittany started to open the door was a play from the beginning, in my opinion. I feel like they set that thing up. They knew what they were trying to do, right? Now everybody's upset. The baby's still crying. I think by the time he got to the car and got into the seat, he wasn't crying as much. But they were, at that point, they're yelling, they're arguing back and forth, and they're falling out to the car. Like, girl, give him the bag and let him take the baby and go. Right? Yes, your baby is crying. Console your baby. Maybe walk him to the car. Maybe walk the baby. Like, you're holding the baby. Take you and the baby to the car. Put the baby in the seat. Console the baby. Or say, hey, let me try to console him. Give him a popsicle or something to stop the crying. Right? But you arguing and creating the animosity, and the child can see you're upset. They can feel your energy. PJ's trying to be calm. He's like, I'm just going to walk to the car, right? You don't want to give me the bag? I'm going to go to the car. I'm just going to leave. He tried to walk away from the situation. And then he does say, suck my, right? And then the mom was like, I would if you had one. Pause. How do you know what he got in his pants? How do you know that? Okay? How do you know? Did you see something? And why would you say you would? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you? Nobody's talking about that though. I was confused. I would if you had one. Wait a minute. Time out. Why are we saying things like that? Right? And the wife's in the car. Now, the wife kept it cute at first. They weren't talking to her. She didn't say anything. She didn't step out. She didn't get out the car right away. She let him go to the door, pick up the son. She let him be the dad in the situation. It got disrespectful, and that's when she hopped in. Because the mom says the baby got $11,000 in his account, and you gave $170K to your first of all, that's his wife. Okay? They got married in 2023. They've been together since 21. It's now 25. Okay? She's been standing ground. She's not going nowhere, right? Brittany could have been that girl, but yeah, okay? So calling a woman when she's a wife and did nothing to you, is not talking to you, didn't bother you, you want to start a fight. You want to escalate it further than it needs to go. Money aside, you called her out her name. Indirectly, but directly, because she's sitting in the car and you knew that she was in the car because you saw her, and you still decided to call out of her name. And you thought that she wasn't going to say nothing. You thought that she wasn't going to do anything. And of course, now Brittany riled up. Oh, what you going to do? Get out. It's too much. It's too much. None of y'all needed to come out the house. None of y'all, why are you recording to begin with? You should have kept you and yourself in the house with your phone down. You should only be recording if it started to be a fight. At that point. But you were willing to pick a fight to start that fight to be on set recording. It was a setup, right? And I don't believe anything like, oh, he only got this amount of money in his account. We're not counting coins and counting money because we don't know. She could just be saying that just to be saying it. We don't know how much money that boy got in the account unless you post receipts. And even if receipts, you can alter receipts. So I don't want to see nobody's actual account receipts anyway. Okay, so we don't know what is in each account, but I just felt like it was a ploy to set him up, to try to get them to get out of character, to record for whatever reason. Maybe she's trying to take him to court for full custody, but is she getting child support? So I really don't think that she kind of wants to go and do anything more than what she's doing. But to me, it was given, you're upset, you still want him, maybe you still love him, and that's okay, but it's not okay to do what you did. It's not okay to give the notion of bitter baby mama. Because that's what it gave. It gave bitter. I don't think that the video did what she thought it was going to do. I think more people were on his side and the wife's side and was like, what's the reason? What is the reason for all of this? Okay? Like, what is the reason? It was doing too much. She was doing too much. But per usual, she does a lot. She does a lot. Okay, and now she back outside. She going back to doing a lot, to doing the most. But that's just my opinion on it. That's my opinion on it, y'all. I felt like she should have just consoled the baby. Neither one of them consoled the baby, by the way. But I felt as though she was so hell-bent on him crying. She should have consoled the baby gave PJ the bag. You holding the bag hostage for what? Come on. Gave him the bag, consoled the baby, went into the house, mind her business. They would have went on their merry little way. None of this would have been on the internet. And I wouldn't have been talking about it right now. But again, that's just my opinion, and that's what it is. So boom. Done talking about it. Yerp. Okay, so we are done. We're done. Show's done. Okay, I'm getting off of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys for always being a part of my shows. Please make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing on all social media platforms at PG Love Sports, or type in Pretty Girls Love Sports. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button right now. Hit the like button. Like the video before you leave out of here. Like the video before you leave out of here. One more time. Like the video before you leave out of here. Okay? Thank you so